Previously on They See Me Rollin'. My name is Patrick of House Buckhunt.
Do you have anybody who you need vengeance?
They're lying on the ground with the flag of House Timmerman. There's a body impaled with that flag. Pay a visit to the Timmermans. Stage a death so that it appears like an accident. My name's Ronaldo. Yes, the night birds.
Nightingales.
They're the most beautiful birds in the world.
I've always needed a hobby. I thought I'd take up night bird watching.
Did Patrick send you over here to get revenge?
I'm here to find out if you are guilty in this matter.
Why is a goblin in my goddamn house? Jelly,
The Love Shack.
you do at this point notice a figure skulking around.
Yeah, I'm conjuring 8 giant poisonous snakes.
You are still close enough to the house where you hear a blood-curdling scream. So where we left off was you were chasing after the drow after having left some snakes inside of Matthew's bed.
Are these metaphorical or literal snakes?
Both.
And we heard a scream.
These are literally snakes that are into metaphors. At this point, what do you wish to do?
I slap a hunter's mark on her.
Are you able to track her with Hunter's Mark?
Yeah, hunter's mark allows me to track wherever somebody goes.
How the hell do you have Hunter's Mark?
It's a paladin spell.
Is it like a vengeance thing?
Yeah, it's a
that
vengeance.
makes
It's a
sense.
vengeance thing.
Okay, cool. Are you going to stay in one place, or are you going to follow her?
She doesn't
mark?
know. She doesn't know she has a hunter's mark on her. So yeah, I think we should follow her from a distance.
But what about that scream we just heard?
Oh, that was just Matthew dying.
No, it was coming from in town, though.
No, it was coming from the house that we just
well,
left.
you know what that is. Okay, then.
I wonder what happened over there. That must be wild.
It's just
Let's
our
follow
friend
her.
Matthew dying. Sucked in, Matthew.
Maybe he was upset that you tried to loosen his handlebars,
What?
his railings.
Handle
Oh.
the banisters. His handlebars. He's working on Matthew's
my
bike.
The first thing that I thought was you were trying to loosen his mustache, which makes even less sense.
Maybe
Yeah,
he just
that's
doesn't like
something
big,
you
long,
can do.
slippery things.
You just reach out and adjust his mustache like you're adjusting his tie.
So yeah, I slap a hunter's mark on the drow, and I want to follow her.
So it's just me and Coen together following.
Oh well, Jelly will
Yes.
come with us too. Obviously,
Okay, yeah, I'll catch up.
she's invisible, so we can't see her. But
Well, Jelly is
All right.
invisible, so she's kind of in the best position to follow more closely.
yeah, Jelly, you should follow. You
Question,
should follow really
could-
closely.
I'll do that.
You guys have Hunter's Mark on her, so you're going to know where she is at any given time. So I'm going to give you, as you're following her, and I'm assuming that this entire time you're still in your armor. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm in my armor, so I tend to make a bit of
All right,
noise.
so I will give you advantage, which means that you just get normal stealth rolls. So if you fail, what you'll need to do is you'll need to maintain a longer distance.
Just
However,
Coen walking through the woods like
Pretty much like a slinky.
He's
And-
holding up a slinky to his microphone.
I have
I use
I have
it as a
slinkies.
pencil
I have
cup.
slinkies on my feet, and they bounce me along.
right. And Skumk will have normal stealth rolls, and additionally, Jelly will have complete advantage. Now, what this will mean for you is that you may have to keep a greater distance at points than Jelly will. So if anything should happen, Jelly will be the only person to be able to see what's happening.
Yeah, that's fine.
Does that make
I'm happy to
sense?
keep quite a long
I'm good with that.
distance because I've got the hunter's mark, and because Jelly's invisible, she can get right up in that shit.
also
Okay.
I have the message cantrip, so I can just send thoughts to you.
Yeah, that's
from a
right.
distance and keep you informed.
You got your walkie-talkie out. You can just break a breaker.
Yep.
We need code.
What's
We
your
need
call
call
sign,
signs for our walkie-talkie.
Yeah. All right, let's establish this right now. Coen, what's your call sign?
Seaman.
All right. Skumk, what's your call sign?
I just realized what that is.
Big boy.
So I've got Seaman. Who else do I've got?
I'll be big boy.
Seaman and Big Boy.
I'll be
We'll host a morning talk show on the radio.
I was thinking
Hello, this is Seaman and Big Boy.
These may be our porn characters for the They See Me Rolling nights.
They See Me Rolling After Dark, the show I've been pitching to you guys forever.
Yeah, that one.
It's a Patreon exclusive.
If we had a Patreon, it would be.
See, you guys want content for the Patreon. I'm pitching it to you right now.
We don't have a
They see me rolling
Patreon.
after dark. No.
Hell yeah. Yes.
All right. So what's your call sign, Jelly?
My call
The world's first sex RPG.
Oh, Stan,
Podcast.
you know,
Yeah, Stan.
you know that's not the first.
Yeah, good luck.
You know that's
Somebody's
not the first.
been out there.
All right, now I'm going to have to look this up. All right.
It'll be the first recorded case.
Sex RPG sex tabletop podcast.
Stop Googling in the middle of our podcast, Stan. This isn't
tabletop
our
sex.
new-
That's
Nope, too
again.
late.
That's
You-
been done, Stan.
I am not finding a single tabletop game podcast that's all about having sex.
Well, that's a niche in the market that's just
I mean, I'm sure
begging for us to
Yeah.
fill it.
I'm sure there's a lot of
there you
sex
go.
on
They see me
tabletops that
rolling
you can
nights.
find.
A lot of
Or
podcasts
After
about
Dark.
sex and a lot of podcasts about RPGs, but never
No
the twain shall meet.
crossover.
Until today.
Yeah, I think we found a new niche in the market we can exploit.
Well, hell yeah.
Well,
we can
we
fill
kind
that
of did
niche.
that with the dildo
Oh, no.
episode.
Yeah, that's
And,
true.
You know, it seems that our listenership tends to drop after that episode.
I don't know why. I can feel people unsubscribing right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so my call sign is going to be Mother Duck.
I need you guys to roll stealth as you chase after her, or track her, rather.
Good thing I always take stealth as an optional skill.
14.
Okay?
Bear in mind with whatever I roll that I'm staying I'm letting her get way ahead. Because my roll's going to be crap. Oh, I rolled a 17.
With Skumk at 14, Jelly at 20, and Coen at 17, Jelly and Coen are actually able to maintain 20 within 20 feet of distance. And Coen, you also have your cat's eye, so you're able to actually see her in the dark.
Yes.
Where she's going. Skumk, you are still following, but you're being a bit more cautious. So she is 40 feet ahead of you at this point. While you're chasing her, you see that she is, heading north into town, and then she breaks northwest into the wooded area where you had gone initially when you were following those footsteps.
Towards our favorite rock.
All right, yeah, to that rock. All right, so I need you to go ahead and roll again.
Oh, man. Don't ask me to roll a good number again.
And Jelly, remember you have advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do. I rolled twice.
I got a natural 20.
I got 19.
Yeah, you got a natural 20. Coe
I
got
got
19. And you got 19. All right, so
the hell is going
Skunk
on?
with a nat 20 is able to catch up with you guys. So you are able to maintain 20 feet of distance from her.
I fell
as
down
she-
a cliff really stealthily that gave me a shortcut.
There was a steep incline in the path, and you slipped.
Yeah, but in a stealthy way.
As you now enter the woods and follow her, she is now heading directly to that rock area. I need you to roll stealth one more time.
I'm not pushing my luck. I'm going to swallow my pass without trace potion.
I got a 19.
All right, Coen, I need you to
Yeah, I know. I'm nervous.
I need you to still roll for
Yeah.
stealth, but Skunk, your roll is now a 29, and Jelly, your roll is now a 27. Coen's is now a 22. You are all three, like, completely surrounding this woman drow without her even just being even remotely aware that you're as close as you are to her. She stands at that clearing near a rock, and there's a little area where she's standing where the grass is a little bit less dense. Again, it is extremely foggy, and you see her start moving her lips. Shortly after
Maybe she's shooting a music video.
whatever it was she whispered to herself, she is now slowly sinking into the ground. I need you guys to do a perception check.
17 again.
I'm going to use a luck point to roll again. 22.
Is she a lot shorter than
you-
she was before?
Skumk was able to make it out a little bit, but Coen with a 20, a natural 20, you hear it almost as though it was plain as day. What she whispered was, "Here we be monsters."
Sears Weedy Monsters?
And you are able to intuit that was the password
Yeah, sure.
to whatever she just utilized.
So is she gone down now? Is she gone?
She is now at this point slipping down.
I'll wait for her to disappear completely. And then I say,
All right.
I say we go give it a go
Okay.
and see if we can do it.
I walk
Alright.
to the middle and say, real monsters.
Aerial monsters?
Aerial mobsters.
Coen, come here.
Yep.
For a second.
Yep. Group hug, group,
Okay,
group think, whatever it is called.
I'm uncomfortable with physical contact. You know this about me.
Yes.
Scariest Chaucer.
So I think that whatever's down there, considering what the password is, I think this is probably a hideout for monsters and other non-humans.
Yeah, but-
So I think we need to do something about you really quickly. And I reach in my bag and I pull out a paper plate. And I take out some scissors and chop it up, and I make Coen a sweet paper plate mask.
Is that plate
And
the
put
one
it
that
on
the
him.
sandwiches were on that whole time?
Yes. I brush off the crumbs.
This plate smells a bit skanky. But I'm happy. I like my
It's
monster
fine.
mask. Can you make my monster mask a bit caddish, like a giant, like a big cat?
Yes. Yeah, it's got cat ears on it.
I've already
Sweet.
got
You
cat
look like
ears,
a,
so that means I've got double cat ears
Halloween werecat.
Yes.
with 4 sets of ears. All right, let's go to the spot, and I say, "Here we be monsters."
All right, you immediately start sinking in, but the other two do not.
Hey guys, you gotta say, "Here
Gary
we be."
B. Monsters.
Here we be monsters.
Gary B. Monster.
All right.
Please.
Now you
Mr.
all
Monster.
start.
Please, Mr. Monster was my father. Call me Gary.
All right, so all three of you feel yourselves being pulled down into the ground. However, the part of your body that enters the ground doesn't feel coated in earth, but rather completely free. And as your heads sink under, you find yourself slowly descending into a large, foggy dungeon. Your bodies gently fall, and you make out sleeping areas of rags and straw scattered about.
This is my kind of place.
You recognize this as your old home.
What?
However, there are now drow everywhere, and they notice all of you as you descend from the hidden entrance.
Oh, we
Hey,
still
fellas.
have pass. We still
Once
have
you-
pass without trace cranking. I don't know if that helps, but
We could have just
well,
dropped in the
no,
middle of this.
because it.
Yeah, you kind of dropped in the middle of the room here.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Once you land softly on the ground, they have surrounded you and have their weapons at the ready. There are a large number of them. You estimate at least 40. At the far end of the cave, you see a light cutting the fog in the distance with some kind of silhouette in the center of this light.
Hi.
You do you recognize the drow that you had been following, and she is standing in front of all the other drow with her hand up. Do any of you speak Elvish or understand it?
I do.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What about the rest of you?
Nope.
All right. So, Jelly, you hear her explain to the others to hold their attack, to just keep you there And she then gestures for you to stay because she doesn't know that you recognize. She doesn't know that you understand what she's saying. But she gestures for you to hold into place by holding her hand up in front of her. But you do understand that she is saying, "Stay, stay here."
I put my hands up.
I just nod my head.
I say hi in Goblin to see if they know Goblin, and the word for hi in Goblin is bye.
They don't understand. They don't seem to have any understanding of what you just said. That said, you see her disappear into that fog, and then you see her silhouette appear within that light, and the silhouette within that light, along with her, then stretches.
Ooh.
And you see it walking along with her towards you. As it approaches, you recognize this as the man from the field, Selvatar.
Satan.
Holy fuck!
Hey, dude.
I say,
It's Charles Dance.
hi, Salvatore. It's us. We met one time, remember?
Imagine seeing you here. How very pleasant. I was given the news that you did a little bit of work for us. I'd say that warrants a reward, wouldn't you?
Oh, that's nice.
How's that?
I had sent Dina here over to murder one of the Timorans. However, you seem to do that quite well. I'm not sure why. However, I certainly do appreciate it.
Were you the people who did you kill that buck hunt fellow?
Well, I wouldn't say I did it, but yes, it was in my orders.
So, what game are you playing here, Mr. Satinal? Saint Nicholas? What's your name again?
Salvatore.
Silvatar.
Savage Tom.
Since you've done me a solid, the least I could do is explain to you what exactly is happening here. You see, this area was once home to my people, the elves. However, it was destroyed by the humans and dwarves who worked in concert to take Faerun from us. And they were brutish, but what they lacked in technology and magic, they made up for in greater numbers, and were able to tear down everything.
What about the
goblins?
I was thinking the same thing as Skumk.
The few elves that survived cursed the land, turning it into a sulfuric swamp, and
Cursed?
and the location was abandoned and eventually inhabited by the goblins, who, as you know, are attracted to the stink, and they made a home in this abandoned underground dungeon.
We're number one. We're number one.
He smiles at Skump really quickly and just says, "You certainly are a hardy bunch. It's a shame what happened to you."
I'm not an expert, but what I've always been told is that goblins were formed out of living pieces of sulfur to enact the will of whoever, whatever.
Really, someone didn't
how
pay
does that
attention in
fit
school.
into
Yeah, obviously.
the equation?
I'll be frank. I don't know or care.
That's cool.
I pull out a corkboard and some pins, and I say, "So you guys were here first, and then the humans came and killed you, and then you cursed the place, and the goblins moved in, and then the humans came and killed the goblins, and now you want to take it back from the humans again." Yeah, have I got this right?
Well, no, that's what I'm doing, but that's not why I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm here because of your lovely friend summoning me. I do appreciate that. He chuckles. He reaches inside of his robe, and he pulls out an onyx, a large, perfectly spherical onyx, and says, "You might enjoy this. This is incredibly valuable. And from what I understand about you, you cherish that which is highly valuable. You could take this, and you could sell it to the town merchant. Or perhaps, I understand if you return, there might be some people upset. You could use it as a bribe. Whatever you wish. It is of incredibly great value. And he and he hands it to you. Take it with my thanks.
I look at the piece of onyx in my hand, and then I look at him, and I say, you had me incredibly valuable.
And he smiles to you and bows courteously.
Okay, so
you think, what's the end game here? You think you'll curse this place again? Because it's much nicer cursed.
I don't know what else you could do to curse this place other than, like, turn it into a volcano or something.
I'll just turn it back the way it was.
He says, I did not curse this place. However, they could do many things. But aside from burning it down, it seems that the human technology is at a level to where they can terraform this land. They've built these pumps all over to remove the water, essentially mining the water, removing this area from being a swamp and turning it into a verdant field.
If we destroy those, will it turn back into a swamp again?
Potentially, but they could just build more.
Oh, true.
Where's the water going?
So
they use it, they filter it, and turn it into drinking water.
They use it in their toilets.
Or for their swimming pools.
Do they keep it in, like, a big bag of water or whatever? Or,
What?
you know, like a big pool or a big, like...
Towel.
No. Back up. You said bag.
Like
a big bag of water.
Like a goon bag.
What?
Like a bag of milk.
You know cask wine.
It's a big bag, though.
We call that goon.
This is not a Canadian fantasy.
Listen,
Sorry, John.
Listen, you don't have to explain to me. I have tons of experience with bagged wine.
Well, you can start calling it goon now.
Cut to Jelly. She's taking out one of those lenses that you put on your eye to appraise diamonds, and she's just looking at the onyx.
Is there any kind of, like, reservoir or bag of water or water tower?
There are water towers. They're essentially what it's set up as. He explains to you because I don't really feel like doing exposition inside of his voice. Basically, he explains to you that each of these homes has their own, essentially, like, personal water tower where they utilize the water how they see fit.
So, Mr. Salvatore, can I get this straight? Your plan is to pit both the major families here against each other and create a war? Is that what you've been working towards doing?
Couldn't hurt. But no, that's not my greater game. That is what I am doing here for my people.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I'm not asking about your greater game.
Yes.
I'm asking what you're doing here.
Yes, that's what we are doing here.
To what end?
To what end?
Yes, why?
Destroy all humans.
Oh.
Oh, that sounds fun.
But I thought you were summoned. I thought you were summoned to deal with the Spider Queen, Lily or Lotus or whatever her name is.
Well, yes, absolutely. But honestly, what do you think I'm going to do after I kill her?
I don't know.
You gotta fill the time somehow. I get it.
It just seems very small, messing with, like, politics within a small town. It seems like a bit beneath a fellow of your stature.
I elbow Coen in the ribs.
That's where you don't see the bigger picture, my friend. But that's okay. I don't expect you to. You're only human.
I use message and tell Coen, shut the fuck up and don't give this guy any bigger ideas.
He looks at you and says, that's an adorable trick. He couldn't possibly give me any big ideas. He couldn't give me any ideas.
So, kill all humans, huh?
I imagine that 2 out of 3 of you are okay with that.
Hang on. So you're only after humans, not worried about dwarves or goblins or whatever the hell Jelly is?
Without humans, the dwarves are nothing.
Wait a minute, Coen. We've been traveling together all this time, and you don't actually know what I am?
Oh, I couldn't remember. Starts with a T, doesn't it? Some kind of demon lady.
I'm a tiefling, and that's kind of a racist assumption.
Well,
I'm I'm not a demon. I'm my own thing.
It's been incredibly pleasant having you here.
Thanks.
Now it's time for you to return.
That's very nice of you to say.
Yes. Please, don't come back. It won't go well for you.
Oh,
But I want you to know that I certainly appreciate your help. What you return to is going to be a nightmare. I would recommend that you find friends as quickly as possible. Anyone who might be sympathetic to your cause. And he snaps his fingers.
do you think you could make a sulfur waterfall?
He doesn't hear that because as soon as he finishes snapping his fingers, you guys are back inside, back on the outskirts of town. It's still nighttime.
I always thought it would be really cool if there was a sulfur waterfall.
Okay, all right, guys. Squad huddle.
Okay.
Squaddle.
All right,
Squaddle.
squad.
Squaddle. It's
All right,
time
so-
to squaddle.
All right, squaddles. So here's where I'm at on this whole thing. This town is full of people that, a large majority of them had nothing to do with all the stuff that went down. But the drow and the elves and spider guy, it's not like they don't have a leg to stand on. I mean, they were kind of dicked over, but then they dicked the humans over. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not quite sure what we should do in this situation.
I mean, these people need vengeance for what they did to the goblins. I don't know about what they did to the drow, but now I'm concerned that this spider guy is going to destroy the world. So, but
Yeah,
it's
I
all
mean,
very
he is kind of
complicated, and I tend to be
he's-
one to go with the wind, sort of be a leaf in the wind and see where it takes us.
He does have that onyx.
Didn't he give it to you?
No, you have that onyx.
Yeah, he's.
I have that. Well, I assume he has more of it, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what he's paying you off for. It's strange. But there you go.
I don't know, but to be honest, Coen, I don't know either. But a paycheck's
You're happy
paycheck,
to you're happy to take the paycheck.
Someone throws money at me, I'm not gonna give it back to him.
Nah, I see nothing wrong with it.
If the guy comes along and hands me a giant chunk of onyx, I'm not gonna say no. I put my arm around Coen and Skumk and say, guys, remember the prison? Remember that bald guy? Remember that how things were simple.
So
back
where
then?
did we teleport to?
Outskirts of town.
The camera zooms in on my face, say Ronaldo, and I start running towards this tower.
I go to the worker's house to try and find what's our boss's name
Miguel.
again?
Miguel. Yeah, maybe we should rescue. Yeah, let's
Miguel.
go.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
go
gonna
rescue
try
the
and find
workers.
him.
Sure, sounds like a plan.
Stan, am I at Ronaldo's house yet?
All right, are you guys splitting up for real?
We appear to be.
I don't care about what those two do. I'm going to Ronaldo.
We need to save Ronaldo because once this place is restored back to its natural ecology, there will be so many more impressive night birds that he needs to see.
You gonna deny the man the joy of seeing those birds?
We'll start with Skumk. You head straight to Miguel.
I run, but like casually.
You're power walking.
You are intercepted by several workers. Halt! You're
Hi.
You're
What's
under
up?
you're under arrest by orders of Miguel.
Miguel.
And they
I know Miguel.
There are about 7 of them, very well armed, and they say, "All right, cuff them."
I'll let them
All right.
cuff me, I guess.
So they end up cuffing Skumk, and they lead Skumk back to Miguel's.
Once they cuff me, though, I turn into
Capybara.
Maybe you should hold it, Scump, Scump, hold it till
something-
you've spoken to Miguel, because they're taking you to Miguel. So, hold it.
Well, now
Oh,
I don't
okay.
care anymore if
Sure.
they die.
Oh well,
I want to be something small and fast.
a weasel.
Yeah, I turn into a weasel and I start running away.
You slip out and you run away, and they look around. And they go, well, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? and they
that
have
last guard
completely,
needs-
at this point,
That last guard needs to die.
It's nice that they're taking turns.
at this point, they have lost you. Where do you run to?
I run, I guess, just back in the direction that the others were going.
All right.
Back to
Okay, so while
group up with the rest of the people.
while that was happening to you, you guys,
I can still talk in wild shape, right?
yeah, it's just gonna be very high pitched.
I yell over my shoulder as I run away. You're all gonna die, so probably leave.
Now I'm gonna need you to do that in a really high pitched weasel voice.
Just say chaos reigns.
A really high pitched skunk.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Yeah, that's bad. It's a bad podcast.
I don't like
sound.
this. I'm unsubscribing from my own show.
All right, so as that happens, Jelly and Coen are heading to the Timorin house,
Yes.
and you guys run into
How long?
a
How
group
have
of
we
people.
been chatting to that guy? Because Pass Without Trace.
Gone?
Pass Without Trace
Uh,
still could be running.
It's been a little over an hour, I'd say.
Oh.
So you run into these men, and well, not men, but group of workers, and you also see a couple other people with the House Buck Hunt banner, and they say, "Hold it right there. You don't want to go any further. Miguel's people are at the house. Come with us. We can take you to the Buck Hunt Palace and keep you safe."
No, I need to get Ronaldo.
I'm happy to go with the Buck Hunts.
What do you need Ronaldo for?
Okay. All right. As they say this, I cast Disguise Self on myself and disguise myself as a Timorant guard,
Why'd you do that?
so that I can get past the guards.
But they're Buck Hunts. They don't
Oh,
like.
sorry. I do as
Yeah, but they just saw
Sorry.
him do that.
no. Okay, wait a minute. So the house that I'm wanting to go towards, which house is that?
It's
It's
Timmerman.
the Timorins, but the Buck Hunts have intercepted you.
Yeah, I say, you know what, guys? Forget. You guys can take Coen. I need to get my friend out of here. And I turn myself into a Timoran guard. Say I'm going in undercover.
They're Buck Hunts.
If you insist, it's not particularly safe over there, but all right. And they turn to you, Coen, and they say, "Are you ready to come with us then?"
Yeah, well, go wherever I'm to.
Wait a minute.
This is all
Wait a
very
minute.
confusing
Wait a minute.
now.
Wait a minute, Coen. I have a little thing up my sorcerer's sleeve. I can use disguise self on you too if you want.
Nah, it's okay. I'll go talk to Patrick.
Come follow us. They guide you, Coen, just a little bit further away into a carriage, a Buck Hunt carriage, and they have you enter in. And in fact, you see Dandy Bobby.
Hey,
is
it's
the
the
one
Dandy
who opens
Man.
the door for you.
Too bad he's gonna die.
You enter into the carriage, and it's extremely lovely, wonderfully adorned. You've never felt such comfortable seats as you sit inside, and there are all kinds of meats and cheeses and drinks for you to partake in if you wish.
So, Mr.
And
Dandy
inside-
Man, am I
So
take
I'm-
it to understand that Patrick is happy with what has occurred?
He looks at you, and then he looks at Patrick, who's sitting across
Patrick's
from you,
there.
and says, "Yeah, if you let me finish, I would have said that." But
Well, hang on. You described the
He said it-
You described the drinks and chips before you described the people in there, which I probably
'cause
would have
that's the first
noticed.
thing
I would have
would
noticed
notice is the
Patrick
food.
before I noticed the food. But anyway,
and he says, "You could ask him yourself." And Patrick chuckles. He says,
and Patrick
Camera pans over.
puffs and appears out
"That's,
of
that's quite
midair.
all right. You have done us a great favor. I hate that you were caught. However, I
Oh,
see
we
that
weren't
it was
caught.
the druids doing. Well, they know you did it, and That said, I want to keep you safe because I think you're all assets. However, why are you the only one here?
I don't know. We decided to split the party for reasons. It's all very confusing.
Well, I hope the rest of them...
Look, Ronaldo's my only friend, all right? I need to save him.
I hope the rest of them join you soon. And this is when...
I'm just wandering around somewhere.
This is when Skumk shows up. Skumk essentially shows up when you two split up. Skumk, who do you join?
I'm going to join Coen.
Do you switch into Skumk form before heading towards the carriage, or do you go in there as a weasel?
No, I climb into the carriage as a weasel.
I say, hey, Skumk.
You hop...
Patrick just
Green
you hop in as
weasel.
you hop in as a
goes,
weasel.
"Ooh!"
And Patrick's like, oh! Bobby is like, ah! And you do recognize that it's definitely Skumk because it's a weasel with goblin ears.
Yes, and he's green.
I wink and then turn into a goblin.
And Patrick has a nice chuckle over that.
And it's
He's like,
horrifying as always.
that was a good trick. I do love a good druid. Glad to see you have joined us. Where is your friend?
We believe she's trying to
Oh, no.
rescue
Watching.
the gardener of the Timmermans because she loves him.
Well, that's very sweet. I hope she... Wait, how does she know the gardener?
It's a long story. You got to listen to the podcast.
Some people you just...
She's the father figure she may or may not have ever had.
You
Listen.
guys can explain this to him as you are traveling towards Patrick's.
Sure. I give a full
Nets.
recap of the last
And-
podcast to him.
Yeah. So then,
And then we put
including the
snakes
parts
in
that
his
he was
plate.
in, I
Play it
guess. And then, so now we cut to Jelly, who is currently dressed in guard, is a Timorin guard, and entering the Timorin estate area. You do see several of the workers looking around. They see you. Some of them just kind of nod to you. They don't know who you are. They don't care. They just recognize the banner.
Okay, do I know where Ronaldo's house... Do I see Ronaldo's house or whatever?
Oh yeah, you see Ronaldo's little shack inside the woods next to the home.
I just nod to them and head towards the house.
You head towards the house. The house is currently dark. The door is closed.
So as not to scare away birds.
Yeah. Well, it's quite late in the night.
I knock on his door.
You then see a faint light appear through the window. A man opens the door. It's obviously Ronaldo, and he says, "Is something wrong?"
I say, you could say that. And I whisper to him, it's me, it's Jelly.
No, you're not. You're not Jelly.
We-
You're a
we-
guard. Why?
I'm disguised as a guard, Ronaldo. We've got to get out of here right now.
Wow, you are truly amazing. You're a ghost? You're a god? Well, do I even know the real you?
Listen, the real me is the me that was with you, watching birds and just having a nice time together, okay? And because of that, we need to get out of here. Some stuff is about to go down, and we need to leave.
Some stuff has gone down. Did you hear? While you were here with me, Matthew Timorin was murdered.
I did. I heard.
He was murdered by your friends.
I don't want to see you get involved in all of this, so I think the best bet for you right now is to come with me, because this whole town is going to... Basically, it's going to turn into a giant shit show pretty soon. Please come with me.
Where are we going to go?
You know what? I'm kind of thinking on my feet, but that usually works for me. So, just trust me.
Okay, well, let me get my traveling hat.
All right.
And he goes to his nightstand and puts on a hat. It is
Stan.
Yeah?
Wait, describe his hat, and then I'll say what I'm gonna do.
It is a Panama hat.
Nice. Wonderful. As he does that, I step inside and I place a hand on his shoulder, and I say, just trust me and follow my lead. And I cast invisibility again, and I used and I used twin spell, so it's now working on both of us.
Well, now I feel like we're a ghost. I'm a ghost now. And he walks around going, woo.
All right.
Ooh, look at
I
me,
know,
I'm a
it's-
ghost. Ooh.
I know it's really
I can
fun.
see
right?
all the night birds this way.
He's so pure.
I know it's lots of fun, Ronaldo, but we got to get going. And for this to work, the most effectively, we need to be as quiet as possible. All right? And
Okay.
I lead him out, and I'm like lead him by the arm and like shut the door behind me and make my way back towards where Coen and I parted ways.
All right. You head out there and you see what you end up seeing is the tracks of the carriage heading towards Patrick's manse.
All right. I infer that that's where they're going, and I head that way.
All right.
Dumping him out of town might be a better idea because we're right. Taking him to the buck hunts isn't going to help. Like,
Well,
to be honest.
I'm thinking of it this way, Jody. I'm thinking of it this,
But,
Jody.
sure.
I can either take him towards the buck hunts where all of us are, or I can spend another round leading him to the outskirts of town and then heading back to where you are. And I just think it'd be better just take him to where we are, because the three of us are going to get out of this no problem. So if I just keep him close to me, I think it will be fine.
Okay. Well, it's added another flavor to it.
All right. You guys are now back at Patrick's home. This is an extremely nice house. The main difference in aesthetics,
Depending on your taste.
Yeah, well, yes, depending on your tastes. If you compare this to the aesthetic value of the Timmerin house, the Timmerin house was very much like old woods, like mahogany and cherry, leather. This one is significantly more modern in appearance, while also kind of going for a minimalist. Think kind of almost the Japanese style.
In the Japanese
And
style.
yet quite elegant.
From
Like,
fantasy Japan.
not obviously Japanese style in our fantasy world, but it's like it's all about utilizing space to the best advantage, which makes these large rooms look much, much larger. And everything, like I said, is quite modern.
Pretty sure I saw this house on
in
an
terms of
episode of Grand
technology.
Designs. It was definitely one of my favorites.
So
Pretty sure I saw this house on an episode of Terrace House.
I've never watched any of these shows, so I can't say that that's what I'm basing it off of. Anyway, you enter into the Buck Hunt house. Patrick says, please have a seat anywhere that you wish. I will order us some refreshments. We need to have a talk. You are in extremely big trouble. There are certain things I can do, but not enough. Everyone knows, obviously, that we are not friendly towards the Buck Hunts. And there is a belief that we hired you to...
That's ridiculous. It's a house in a swamp. Of course there's going to be snakes.
No,
It's like you people have never even lived
Yes,
in a
Mr.
swamp.
Patrick. There's a
we cleared the...
there's a belief that you hired.
We cleared this area.
You clear out all the swamp, you know where the snakes are going to go. In the house.
There's a belief that you hired us because
we
you
killed
did
this.
hire us, Mr. Patrick. What would happen if we
Yes,
told
I know
everybody that you hired
I
us?
know that. And suddenly his look changes, and he says, "Are you threatening me?
Well,
Are
maybe.
you looking to have absolutely no allies in this town?"
I'm just saying,
they
you
have Ronaldo.
you hired us to do this. Now you need to deal with the consequence and protect us.
I am dealing with the consequence, and I am attempting to protect you. That said,
Thanks.
because I have not paid you yet, is there anything that you may have that would seem as though we offered you payment?
I give him a spider.
He looks at that and says, "No, I would never pay anyone in spiders. This is disgusting." He tosses it on the floor and steps on it.
Skumk looks very disappointed when he says that.
At this point, I would say this is when Jelly arrives.
I guess I open the door, and slip past with Ronaldo.
All right, you open the door while invisible.
Yeah, we're still invisible at this point.
All right, just do a stealth check with advantage, and I will do the same for Ronaldo. Yeah, 15 and 18. Both of you slip in without being seen.
All right. I look around and then I find the room that they're sitting in.
All right.
And then I walk over and I sit down next to Coen. Mm-hmm. And once I'm seated, I dispel invisibility on the both of us.
Oh, shit.
Say,
Hello.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Welcome. And he looks and sees Ronaldo and says, another one of you? Who's your friend?
This is the newest member of the squad, Ronaldo.
Ronaldo is just looking around going, oh, I don't know that I should be here. This is a buck hunt home. Hello, Mr. Buck Hunt. I'm just the gardener. Please don't hurt me. And he falls on his hands and knees and throws his, he prostrates himself on the floor, begging to not be killed.
Yeah, he's just a gardener, asshole.
Ronaldo, get up. And I kind of like pull him up. Say, don't worry about Ronaldo. He's a friend of mine. I can vouch for him. All right, just pay him no mind. I'm just basically giving him a lift out of here.
Patrick gives you an odd look and says, you have odd taste in friends, my friend, but I have no interest in hurting this man. He is a worker of the Timorins, is not a Timorin. Welcome, my friend. That said, as I was explaining to your friends, do you have any incriminating items on you that would seem as though I had paid you to murder Matthew Timorin?
No?
Yes, he's correct.
So you have nothing
But
on
I
you.
might have taken some nuts out of the bowl in the living room, so I just throw those on the floor.
They all have the Timorin logo and planted on them.
What is in this room?
In this room is a sofa that you are seated on. It's not a big, oversized sofa. These are smaller. There's a small fireplace. This one is not the gas-powered large fireplace that the Timorins had. This is just a smaller wood-burning place. There's this really nice kind of modern art all around the walls. There is a door leading out into the foyer where you entered in from. That's pretty much it. In the foyer, there was another staircase that led upstairs and then hallways leading to other areas of the home.
Okay, it's true, sir. We do not have any proof. You're correct.
Excellent. And you have nothing of great value.
Nope. And I shoot.
Depends on how you value things, I guess.
Shoot everyone. I use message on Coen and Skump and say, don't you dare fucking mention my onyx.
Would never even dream of it.
I have a lot of things that are valuable to me personally.
I messaged back to Jelly and Scump. I'm thinking of just killing this guy right now, and that way both houses have had their heads destroyed. What do you guys reckon?
I using message, I say, yeah, you know what? I'm not opposed to the idea.
I mean, if he's going to say that we don't have proof and he's going to accuse us of the murder of the other guy, we may as well just kill them. We just may as well kill them both.
He says to you, excellent. If you have nothing of value, at this point, you don't have any evidence that I
Hakuna
or
Matata.
anyone hired you. Additionally, my recommendation is that I return you to Miguel. Now, Miguel is a fair man, and you will be given trial. Do you have an alibi? Who saw you at the house?
We were bird watching.
Shh. Bird watching.
Shush.
I'm not interested in establishing an alibi.
Ronaldo says, "Well, I can vouch for my friend Jelly. She was with me, and we were watching night birds."
Yeah, I had nothing to do with any of this.
Patrick smiles at Ronaldo and says, "Really? Could you vouch for all of them?"
I shoot
Ronaldo says,
I shoot Ronaldo a look.
Ronaldo is like, I could, but I can't imagine they were in the house alone. I mean, someone else must have seen them.
Look, sir.
Patrick looks at Coen and Skumk and says, did anyone else see you inside that house?
Yes, Caleb, the stoned butler, and John the crybaby saw us.
Ooh, okay. But none of them actually saw you cast the spell. That could have summoned the snakes, correct?
If I even did cast a spell.
Yeah, nobody knows we cast a spell.
He points at you, Skunk, and then he touches his nose.
It's entirely possible that I tried to cast a spell and it failed, and there just happened to be snakes there, because... obviously there would be snakes here. It's a giant cleared out swamp.
I lean forward in my seat and I address Patrick and say, Look, Patrick, I think you're overlooking a completely reasonable and probably even better plan B, which is just that the 5 of us just disappear into the night like phantoms, never to be seen or heard from again. Like, we have no ties to this town. We were gonna go, off on another adventure after this whole thing was over with. So I don't see what's stopping us from just moseying out of town, and you never have to hear from any of us again.
Yeah, I'm not particularly interested in going to trial.
He contemplates it and he thinks, I could get you out of town. Where would you need to go?
I think I message to Coen and Skumk and say, like, where's Courtney and the other lady whose name I always forget?
Yeah, I still want to just kill this guy.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm kind of on board with you. I've wanted to kill Patrick from the start. We could kill him
that
and
way.
leave.
That way, we've dealt with Matthew and we've dealt with Patrick.
Not with all the guards here.
What guards? We're in the room by ourselves.
Oh, okay. You know what I was saying about snakes earlier? Do you know that I am originally from this area?
Yes, we spoke about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of native snake species that I think are being, like I said, they're displaced by the destruction of natural habitat, and they just show up in odd places because they're trying to find new ways for them to survive. And for example, these 8 snakes that are in this room right now are
They just seem to appear.
They gotta come from somewhere.
Wait, did you just summon eight snakes into the room that you're in right now?
Hell yes.
Yeah, I summoned 8
Well,
snakes in various places.
We're doing this.
I love it. I draw my sword.
This is Stan.
This is Jody.
This is Hayden.
And this is Ivan.
Hi.
And this is our shout-outs and plugs.
Plug up your butt.
The best part of the show.
Yes, everyone's favorite. So, you may have noticed something when you downloaded this episode, or at least we hope so. We got new artwork!
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, we did. And it looks so good.
Hooray.
Something
Yeah,
better
I
than
really
that,
like it.
that awful piece of crap that some idiot made for us.
I know, right?
Hey, wasn't it?
okay.
That hunk of heart garbage.
I didn't really have an image in my head of what Skumk looked like before, and now, like, it just looks like that piece of art.
It has completely solidified
did that?
Oh, no, that's-
Coen in my brain.
Well, same here.
Oh, yeah,
like,
this-
they
This is pretty much exactly what I imagined. All of you, to look like this is perfect. The only thing that's strange is that Jelly is smiling, which is actually kind of wonderful.
She
I
must
know,
be
right?
watching some Nightbirds.
Thank you so much for forgiving. Thank you so much for allowing Jelly one moment of happiness.
Who did the art?
Yeah, who are you thanking?
Well, I am thinking Kiana McMillan. Kiana, I want to say, I'm going to take credit for this. I followed your art. If you're listening to this, I followed your art on Tumblr because I thought your Adventure Zone art was amazing. You can check out that art in her own original art on her Tumblr page, waterday.tumblr.com. It's really, I cannot say this enough. It's great, and I cannot thank her enough for the amazing job she did putting together our new logo.
It's beautiful. So what was that address? waterdaytumblr.com, yeah?
Yep, waterday.tumblr.com. So great. She does do commissions for people at a very reasonable price, I might add, for what you're getting, which is amazing. And it's just great to browse through her Tumblr page and look at all the great stuff that she's drawing.
Super talented. Oh, and sorry for dissing your old logo before, Stan. It was beautiful.
I'm not.
That's okay. My old logo was terrible and was only ever there as a placeholder. The fact that it's been there for damn near a year is kind of depressing. So this...
God, have we been doing this podcast
this
for
makes
almost
me
a year?
so...
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
3 more months, it'll be a year, I think.
Oh,
So-
Jesus. What have I been doing with my life?
So, no, this is wonderful. I love it. And I do love in the They See Me Rollin' font that they that she kept the D20. That's all I wanted. And to see you guys, and you guys look wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I love it. And Kiana, I just have to say again, if you're listening, I love the fact that you listened to my suggestions in the first episode and everything else, that Jelly has freckles. I love that so much.
And additionally, we want to send out another shout out regarding our iTunes reviews.
Hey, a dude named Kenny came on to our iTunes and gave us a really nice, really constructive review. And we want to just say shout out to you, Kenny. Thank you so much for reviewing us. And if you'd like to review us, just go into iTunes, give us 5 stars. You can write something or not. We don't care, but we'd really, really love it if we got some reviews, and we'll definitely give you a shout out on the page.
Give us the number of stars that you feel are reasonable. We do recommend 5.
Yeah.
Listen,
So you know.
all life on Earth is based on just 1 star. So even if you gave us 1 star, that'd be
No,
good,
if
right?
you think we're absolutely
No,
it
bollocks,
would hurt our feelings a
don't
lot.
bother. If you
not
think
how
we're
it
bollocks,
works.
don't bother. If you think we're worth 4 or 5 stars, please do come on and review us.
So thanks, Kenny. That was really kind, and we really appreciate your words. We wanted to give another shout out to Random Sampling. This would be the show that Jesse Mucci Cooper, who also does Turn to Page, and Carrie Nelson do.
Hey, Kerry.
And this is a fantastically cool idea for an episode. In fact, Hayden, you have been on this podcast as well, correct?
Yeah, I was just recently on an episode. The topics that I brought to the podcast were the Wizard of New Zealand and Emperor Norton, the first Emperor of America.
What level wizard
such
is
a
the
fun
Wizard
show.
of New Zealand?
He's got to be level 20. National level, which is at least level 20.
Yeah, he started out as a university campus
As a
level
hedge
wizard,
mage.
and then he upgraded to city wizard, and then all the way to national.
I was also recently on a series of episodes of Instant Classic, where we covered Horizon Zero Dawn. That was, of course, run by 2 of the guys from our rival podcast, Square Roots.
So
the podcast
you were...
that I was on...
You were consorting with the enemy?
Listen, we only agreed to do the podcast after a lengthy kung fu fist fight where we realized that neither one of us could overcome the other, and we grew to respect each other because of our respective strength.
So by neither one, you mean you were facing down Matthew or Jim?
I was facing down both of them, actually. I fought them both
wow.
off single-handedly.
So you're exactly equal to both of them.
Yes, that is what you're getting whenever you listen to They See Me Rollin'. You're one host of They See Me Rollin' is equal to 2 hosts of Instant Classic or Square Roots.
Yeah, considering
That
we
makes
killed
Except for
Matthew
Vanessa,
off
she
in
can
the
kick
show.
all of our asses.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Except for Vanessa. Love you, Vanessa.
Weren't you on War
All
and
right.
Beast as well?
I'm just traveling through all
Slutting
the
it about.
podcasts, aren't I? Yeah, baby. I'm
So listen
I'm
to
a
War and
hip-happening
Beast as
guy
well.
in high demand. Yeah, it's I should say what it's about. It's a podcast covering the hit Transformers show Beast Wars. We had a lot of fun, despite the fact that I watched the wrong episode for the show. Yep, about
Sounds
2 minutes
like
in, we
Hayden.
realized I had watched the wrong episode. It made for very interesting podcasting. But give all those podcasts a listen.
What's that
They're,
podcast called again?
That is called War and Beast. I want to give one more shout out, and then I'll hand over the mic to my co-hosts. I want to shout out Patrick Hackett on Twitter for being the 2nd person ever to message me on Twitter.
Woohoo! Number 2,
Yes,
Patrick.
and making that strange confession that he is number 2. That's
Yep.
kind of gross, but Patrick, you do you.
Yep, you do. I'm not gonna yuck your yums, Patrick.
No, boy.
So follow this show on Twitter at TSMRcast, and you too could be mentioned on the shoutout segment.
Yeah,
This segment I'm sure everyone skips over.
And Patrick is the namesake for our character Patrick in the show because he interacts with us on the Roll20 Facebook page. If you come and chat on the Roll20 Facebook page, Roll20? What am I saying? They see me rolling. Can you just cut that in,
They see me
Stan,
rolling Facebook page.
Can you just cut that in like I said it properly? They see me rolling Facebook page. And then you also might become a character on the show.
You can also find us on Tumblr at TSMRcast. And thanks to user No Regretskis, who's one of the members of Dames and Dragons, for being like the main person who interacts with me.
Whoa.
Nice.
I don't want to turn this into another 10-minute discussion on how great Dames and Dragons is, but guys, how great is Dames and Dragons?
Dames and Dragons is back with a new arc, and I am totes looking forward to it. So check them out as well. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye. This podcast was edited by Stan Ferguson. Our music is by Ron Lubavitch. You can hear Ron on 1,000 Words podcast.
Follow him in real life.
You can listen to Ron Lubavitch with me on 1,000 Words. Also follow his blog, God's Little Peep Show.